Welcome everyone to the Sunny Coast's very own podcast called the Referral Wave. My name's Tony Cross, and by day I've got a car buyers advocacy business called Drive Connect. But today I'm joined by Jaco from Love and Partners Accounting Group. Welcome along, mate. How you going?
Good, thanks. Thanks, Tony, for having me. Yeah, good to be on
No,
here.
no worries at all. Great to have you along. So look, let's jump right into it. Tell us a little bit about your business and where you're from.
Okay, so Love and Partners is quite an old firm. Been on the coast for going on its 75th year now. So it's been on here. I've been here a while. So it's just been a few change of partners and things, and I've joined as a tax partner here. And yeah, we've been looking after businesses obviously since day one, and making sure they reach or look after their tax compliance. That we deal with businesses from, startups all the way through to big groups, different stages of work from starting up to selling businesses. So, with Australia being one of the complex tax systems in the world, it is, sort of the area where we just support those businesses and making sure that we're with them on this journey, and just help them with the right advice.
Yeah, I should have I should have got you to bring your books so you could have held them up. But I was at your BNI yesterday, and your 60 seconds was fabulous because you had if I get the numbers wrong, tell me, but you had the Tax Planning Act from 2005, I think it was, and it was only about an inch thick, and you had the one from 2025 or something, and it was like 8 inches thick.
Yeah, I mean, it has changed. We've seen how the landscape change. So yes, it was the 1975 one actually. So it's
Oh,
like all the way
75.
back. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, right.
going all the way back, 50 years ago to where it was. And the other one was 2015, because I mean, the
Yeah,
latest
right.
one we all got digital copy, but it's like about, seven times thicker than that. So it's just
Yeah.
how everything's expanded, and it's not stopping. We've got recent legislation changes as well coming through, on the tax side. So it's a ever evolving part of it. So yeah.
So I guess I mean, it's important for people to really choose an accountant that is up to date with that sort of stuff, isn't it? Because, I mean, it can mean the difference between not only saving money or having to spend money or pay more tax, but it also gets around the legality of it as well, doesn't it? Like if you're not getting that right advice, you could be outside the laws as well.
Well, exactly. And it's also the fact of just being a bit more proactive, because with changes coming, you've got time, you've got a bit of a window to that you can do changes that will sort of help you with your business.
Yep.
Once those changes are done, and after that, it's going to make it quite difficult. But if you've, sort of have a proactive accountant, someone that really jumps into it with you, is on the journey with you, and can sort of point out these things that is to either the detriment to your or business, or advantages you can take as well in your business, then that's where we support those clients.
Yeah, so as a business person, you're my accountant. How many times a year are you suggesting we meet to go through that? Is it a quarterly event?
I would suggest probably quarterly would be the best way to do it.
Yeah.
But once there's big business decisions as well, it's also for them to then also contact their accountant. I mean, I'd rather have someone to say, well, I'm going to do this. Is it the right thing to do? Rather than coming to me afterwards and saying, well, I've done this. Did I do it right? It's sometimes difficult to unwind those transactions, rather than it is just to get that advice from the beginning and do it right. Because I mean, if you just see your accountant once a year, you get to work on historical. You don't work on
Yeah.
up-to-date information, so you can't really make certain decisions or pivot in the business, because you don't know. When you can make those decisions straight away, you can make sure your business is more successful.
Yeah, no, I get that completely. Like I know even from our car point of view, like buying and selling cars, people will often ask about finance and go, "Oh, what sort of loan should I get, or what should I do? What sort of structure should I get the loan in?" And I'm like, "Oh, have you should be talking to your accountant about this." And it's amazing how many times people, and then that triggers them then to go, "Oh, yeah, yeah, no, I should make sure it's set up right." But they start asking questions about that without, going and buying sorry, about buying the car without going and seeing their accountant first about the right structure. You know what I mean? Like it
Yeah,
seems a bit
exactly.
bit backwards.
It is, and I mean, those are big decisions, and it can be, you can get it quite wrong as well. And as I say,
Mm.
is when you unwind those transactions, it's sometimes costly. So if you do it right the first time, it's
Yep.
the best way to do it.
Good idea. All right. Well, if you're listening and you're thinking about buying a car, give Jaco a ring first. Make sure you got it sorted. Tell us a bit about BNI. What led you to joining BNI? Now, I know next Wednesday your chapter on the Sunshine Coast, Elite, turns one, and you've been there from day dot. So congratulations. You were the founding treasurer, I believe. So what led you? What got you into BNI?
So, I've been on the Sunshine Coast for 2 years now, and within those 2 years, I knew that from the beginning that getting the right connections will really help me sort of grow my network and grow business as well. And the only way you can do that really is BNI. I have been in a BNI before. I was actually in BNI in New Zealand as well. And I spent quite a few years in it, and I know the advantages there is of being in a BNI network. And the advantage it was for me there to really grow my network as well. So when I moved here, spoke to Leanne. There was no chapters, and as you know, accountants are usually one of the first seats to, and they don't leave their seats. It's only when they retire, really.
Yeah.
So for me to find a spot was difficult, but I know I met with Nat and Nav at that stage as the first members, and we sort of got together, and I just knew it's a good group to form, and yeah, we started the chapter from there, and it's grown to where it is now.
Yeah. Certainly had a super team right out of the blocks there. You guys did a fantastic job. And yeah, congratulations in advance and getting everyone through to year one. So that was good. Um,
Yeah, no, it was very good. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about how you use BNI to help grow your business.
Well, I think it's the connections. So having a good team around you, I think, knowing the people that we've got in our team, they're really dynamic and they're really got good connections as well, but they're always really advocating for you as well out there. So for
Mhm.
me, the fact that we've got visitors all the time. Everyone's proactive with bringing visitors. So you've got new connections coming through the door. And those are people that you can, you might not use straight away, but those are connections, business cards you've got. And when you eventually want to use it, well, you just grab out one of those business cards and realize, well, that's someone that's you already met through a BNI visit as well. And I think there's so many advantages of that. BNI just has opens you up to a whole, spectrum of people, but also not only local, but you've got the BNI Connect app as well. So if you need to get someone in a different area, it's easy just to jump on there and find someone, and you know it's going to be someone that's trusted to be able to work with.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So I guess that sort of leads us into, it's good having visitors and it's good having diversity. And as you say, even if it's not in your chapter, you can look it up and connect. But have you used that at all to help you with any issues within your business, like help solve any problems?
Well, it solved personal problems,
Yeah.
having people, that could help me when I purchase property as well. I know Janice in our chapter was phenomenal and just asking questions, giving me some advice as well. You can trust that person, and they're going to give you some good pointers as to go about it, when you're first time buyer and things as well. So it's really
Mm.
just leaning into those connections and making the most of it. Yeah.
And it does make that process easier because, in a case like Janice, you've got to know her over sort of 12 months. You've seen the work that she's been doing. You've listened to people like the referrals that she's got and the wins that she's had. So it's sort of, I mean, and that's the good thing about BNI. When you come to use that person, you've listened to them do their craft for however long it might be. So when it comes time for you, it just becomes a no-brainer, and an easy choice, right? So makes life
Exactly.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I mean,
perfect.
there's different expertise in different areas as well. So yeah, we've got lawyers, we've got financial planners, and everyone. So there's always someone who's brain you can pick, which is
Yeah,
great. Yeah.
yeah. No, definitely. Um, how much time do you devote to BNI in your week?
Probably, well, obviously the BNI meeting, but it's a bit of time. I try and do about at least one to one a week,
Yeah.
and then also do a bit of BNI podcasts and things as well. I mean, yours is great to listen to, and so it's is always those that I try. So probably between 4 and 5 hours is probably the usual I spend on it. Sometimes more, sometimes a little bit less, but I sort of try and at least make sure that I have those connections and keep those connections relevant as well
Yeah.
by having regular one-to-ones. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Because, I mean, as you're doing that as well, people are getting to know you and different skills that you might have in different areas. So that makes you easily referable for other people as well, isn't it? When they're
Yeah.
out, whether it be a barbie on Saturday or whatever it might be, it makes them easy to relay like your idea of referral at the same time. So you're sort of working on your business within BNI. It's a bit of a no-brainer, really, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
When it comes to the success, your success in BNI, have you got any standout stories for us? And I know it's only been 12 months, but have you got any sort of standout stories for us you can tell us?
Yeah, I mean, I know it's been 12 months, but there's always been those times that I could really help clients as well, and just connections that been passed my way as well with where they've had ATO issues and be able to jump in there and help them with sorting it out, either where there's been incorrect assessments or where there's shouldn't have been payments in the first place. It has been incorrectly done by prior accountants. So,
Yeah,
really helping them. But I think one of my ones that probably does stand out is not recent, but it's when I was in a BNI chapter before, as well as where I was with that client from the beginning. They came in a new business as well, and we sort of partnered from the start. And I was there with him in the journey as he grew his business. And when I left that BNI, he's already had five add-on businesses to his already established business. And we were together on that journey. And every time we met at BNI, he'd have a question about, should I do this? Should I do this in my business? So it feels like you were part of it. But to be part of such a success story where, you get a call from him saying, hey, I've reached this milestone or I've reached this profitability, which we discussed, it's just nice to be in this position like that where you've been with him so far on the journey.
yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that gets back to the point you were making about being on the journey over the year, like the quarterly things, rather than just using your accountant as like making sure I get my tax back at the end of the financial year. It's rewarding for all parties, and I guess you would make better progression in a business over that 12-month period if you were on it every 3 or 4 months, throughout that year. Would that be correct?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'd rather meet those people more regularly because when they make decisions and things as well, you'd rather make them now and monitor those as well as you go forward, and know that you're doing the right thing for your business as well.
Yeah, because you're 100% right. Because otherwise, you just get there at the end of the year, and someone goes, "Oh, I've done this," and then you've just sort of got to probably, no, not band-aid it, but man, you got to sort of put it in the box and make it fit after 12 months. Whereas you can help navigate it over the 12 months if the people have the right way about it. So, no,
Yeah,
no, that's
exactly.
good advice. I hope people took that up. Given your BNI journey to date, what would be one bit of advice you would give to anyone listening to this podcast? To make the most out of their journey in BNI.
Um, Showing up. I think that's the most important thing is just be there and be part of it. It's like anything. What you put in is what you get out. So, I think what's the BNI formula? Visibility plus credibility equals
Equals
profitability.
profit. Yep,
Yeah,
VCP. Yep.
that's the one. Yeah. So I mean just being visible, being there, doing your one-to-ones, will increase your credibility over a period of time. And it's not going to be a one-day game, it's a long term. And
Yeah.
so, it takes a while before you start really building the trust and things. But once you've got that, you'll always be part of that chapter and be preferred because people can see how well and how hard you work at it.
Correct. And you've
Yeah,
been at the pointy end of your chapter. So you see, just like in every other chapter, the more one-to-ones you're doing, the more referrals the chapter's doing, and the more closed business they're doing, isn't it? It's amazing how those graphs follow themselves month in, month out.
exactly. No, it does.
Yeah. No, great. What's next for Love and Partners or yourself within that business?
Well, we've just had our last partners that have been here since the initial stages retire. So it's really rebuilding as well, building with new processes, no procedures, but we want to be the top accounting firm in this area. We really want to
Yeah.
grow ourselves, be those trusted advisors to our clients, And BNI is going to be part of that, by us being part of a BNI. Both partners are in a BNI now. So we will be building our referral network and be building the connections, and that will really be one part of the success of Love and Partners in the future.
Yeah, and that's a good point. We discussed that off air because you have a colleague in BNI Alliance as well, don't you? So
Yeah,
it's good when, I mean, obviously Love and Partners place a great importance on having people in BNI because you sort of got both ends of the, middle of the coast, bottom of the coast covered, haven't you? Like,
yeah,
um, yeah, it's good having someone else in the BNI system as well. So congratulations on that.
yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
Um, I always ask people this question. What's the one core value of BNI that resonates with you?
Uh, Probably accountability. I think
Yeah.
accountability is one of the ones just because, you take that on when you are dealing with your BNI connections as well, is that, they're you taking their reputation on. So if they give you a referral, that's their trust they put in you. So it's really being accountable to the rest of the team that you're doing the best you can for them as well, because they rely on you to do that. So I think for me, just knowing that if I do give a referral, those people will do their best for those clients that I send their way. And that accountability is for me is key. And same for me. I know they know that if they give me a client that I would do the best for them as well.
Yeah. And that all starts with, as you said, turning up. Turn
Yeah,
up, visibility, credibility, right? That's what it's all about.
exactly.
Um, Great advice there. Look, now, how can listeners get in touch with you? How do we find out more about you?
Well, probably our website is probably the first port of
Yeah.
call. And then also BNI Connect, I'll be on there.
Yeah.
And then come visit our chapter. We're a great chapter, we're a growing chapter, and it's always nice to have new faces there, new visitors, and at the same time, meet up for a one-to-one afterwards.
There's worse places in the world to do business other than the Dicky Beach Surf Club with a nice breakfast and a coffee on a Wednesday
Exactly.
morning. I'd encourage everyone to get down there. You guys got it down pat down there. The lovely ladies that do the coffee, they know everyone by name and the visitors, and they bring it over. You don't even have to leave your chat. Your coffee gets brought to you. I love it.
I know, it's amazing. And they're really great, and it's a great team around there as well that's just supporting our chapter there. So,
Yeah.
yeah, no,
So
love it.
you're 6:45 for 7 on Wednesday mornings at Dicky Beach Surf Club. Did I get that right?
That's right. That's correct. Yeah.
Great. Well, I'd encourage everyone to go down there. It's a fantastic spot. Lovely group of people, sharp. They're all on it. You'll have a fantastic time going down there. And if not, look up Jaco on BNI Connect and flick him an email and have a one-to-one. So thanks very much for being on, mate. It's
Yeah,
been
thanks,
great.
Tony.
We've talked about doing it for a while. We finally got it done. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
And I loved having you on. It was great insight. Thanks very much.